Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Now, my name is Michelle, and what I want to talk about today is, if you have been following my current videos, I've been talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire's song, Serpentine Fire. And in episode 1, I talked about what serpentine fire really means, and that's the inner strength that we carry. Now, in episode 2, I went into how I shared the season when that strength, when I felt that fire, that fire is my strength within me. And I shared that in episode 2. So Earth, Wind, and Fire, Maurice White, he writes his songs with a spiritual connotation. How do you say that? With a spiritual tone to it, and that's what reaches us. That's what reaches our soul when we hear his song, because he says, now in episode 1, I go into how he go about writing his songs, and and uh, and but I do want you to go back to episode 1 of my videos and listen to that video. But and I'll touch on it just a small bit. The serpentine fire is that fire within us. So when we hear his music and that fire rises up in us, and it takes us to a level where we really can groove and move to his song and to his beats. But do you actually listen to the lyrics? Which his lyrics are, nice and fine, but when you research what serpentine fire really means, and when you research Maurice White's how he go about bringing his music and his lyrics and his songs together, then you understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about serpentine fire. And when I say I research, and how it brings the spiritual connection to us, and that it's that fire within us that gets us to a point to where our drive, our move, the things that inspire us to do certain things. And now, those of you that have been following me for a while, and you knew and you started following me because you were inspired by some of the things that I talked about. And some of the things that I talked about inspired you. Some of those things that inspired me, it brought that fire within me. And I shared my life with you guys. I shared, my thoughts and my belief, my spiritual beliefs. And, if I talked about anything else, those beliefs too. But that was that fire in me that the serpentine fire talks about. That's that fire within me that led me to say the things that I wanted to say, guide my thoughts, so that you guys would be able to be inspired by what it is that I say, in my videos. Now, lately, I know that my fire had went out after my surgery. My surgery was in June, and it was hard. I wanted to stay here with you guys, and I wanted to continue to bring you guys content, and I tried, but my heart didn't believe what my words were saying, even though the words that I was saying were from my heart. But it's that fire in me that, wanted to bring that information to you guys how I brought that information to you guys. I was feeling depressed. I was feeling, not all myself. And and when I brought the information to you guys, and I tried to stick with bringing you the information, I was depressed. I was kind of low, and I was trying to bring myself out of it. So I continued. I prayed. I continued to go volunteer. I tried to relax and get over let the healing take place within my body. But something in me, that fire in me, felt like it was dying down. It wasn't really dying down, but I needed to rest. That's what that fire was telling me. And some people could say that fire is that what God places in us to follow his will for our lives. And, you know, you put it into words however it is that you put it into words for yourself, that makes you move, that makes you, feel that you're going to start your day off and do the things that, your drive is driving you to do. But one of the things that broke my spirit, broke was trying to blow that fire out for me, is y'all know that I live in affordable living. And I had some situations that came up within my affordable living as I was healing. And many of you guys already know that at one point I was homeless after surgery the first time when my cancer was removed, and and my breast was rebuilt. And sometime after that I went homeless, because and you have to go back and review those interviews, I mean those videos, so that you guys could understand what I went through during that time. But after this June that passed, last June 2025, and you guys know I posted my surgery recovery and going, for my reconstruction, because I was having problems with my breast again. And what happened is, after my last videos from healing, after a while, I went silent. You guys didn't hear from me for a while. And that's because, I started having flashbacks of what happened to me in the past, because something happened to me currently that disturbed my peace and disturbed me so greatly. And I'm going to give you guys a quick shot of this. And after I do this, I'm going to continue on with my series that I'm doing with Serpentine Fire. I talked with, someone yesterday, and they told me that I probably needed to show you guys briefly of what's going on here. Now, I packed. If you guys can see, I tore this open. I'll get back to that in a minute. I packed all of my stuff. I put them in trash bags. I put them in these airtight containers for a lot of things that I did. I packed, unpacked. And if you see my sofa, as you see my sofa, what took place here is bed bugs attacked me. Bed bugs came into my apartment. And all I can say is, when the guys redid my floors, they took my sofa outside and placed it under the stairs. And some kind of way, bed bugs got into my sofa. And I tore this apart trying to put some powder into the bottom of my sofa. If you see right here, that's, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. If you can see right here, I put a lot of that powder on the outside, but I wanted to place the powder on the inside so that I could save my sofa. And it got it all into my curtains, the bed bugs. I had to wash my curtains. My curtains are shrunk, but I'll make use of it. In my bedroom, I had to get rid of my bed, and I had to get rid of the mattress that I had, and I had to get a new mattress. So my life is turned upside down. When they came in to spray for the bed, do the heat treatment for the bed bugs, my blinds warped and they fell apart. They fell apart. The blinds are all warped. And the floors, the new floors that they put down, the heat treatment warped the floors also. So, Sunstar, she was on point when she asked me. She said, I never saw that part of your house before, your apartment before, and that's different. So that's why it was different. I was in my bathroom doing that video because I didn't want you guys to see this. I didn't want to show this. But this is what I'm going through. They said that they were going to move me to a different apartment. They didn't do that. And so I'm still packed, and I'm just anticipating moving out of this apartment complex. So my fire died down, and then I had to pick myself up out of depression. I had to pick myself up out of, feeling angry. This was my retirement furniture. I have to get rid of the sofa because the bed bugs was in the sofa, and the bed bug eggs are in the sofa, and they've been hatching lately and seemingly trying to come back. So another heat treatment is going to be done for my apartment, and after that heat treatment, to make sure that I don't have bed bugs once I go from this apartment to a different apartment or different apartment complex. And this is the first time I've ever had bed bugs, so I didn't know how to treat it. I didn't know what to do. So only thing I did was retreat it within myself. And that fire within me started trying to die. And I did everything I could to try to fight that fire within me and trying to bring that fire back out so that I could come back and do what I like doing. And I like talking to you guys. I like bringing awareness to you guys about, the different things that I bring awareness to. And I like the communication with you guys. So with that being said, now the next video that I will bring and we'll be talking about is how I will get past all of this, and I'm going to tell you how I come through in chapter 3. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video.